Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session that will overview IANA's Driver Vehicle Examination Report Service. My name is Debbie Sasko, and I'm the AVP of Information Services at IANA, and I also have with me today Stacy Fagan, who's one of our program managers. This afternoon, what I would like to do is take you through some of the PowerPoint slides for a brief history and overview of the DVER program, and then walk you through some screenshots as well as going into the application itself to overview its features and functionalities. Should you have any technical questions, you can submit those, and we will get back to you in regards to any of the technical items that you have questions on. We'll get with our IT people on this side, and if we need to set up a call or anything with you, we'll certainly correspond that and get that set up with you. So with that, let's get started. This screen shows a snapshot of IANA's suite of information service programs. The programs that you see with the star next to them indicate the interconnectivity that these programs have with one another and that they in some way interact with the DVER and GEAR system. In order for parties to communicate with IANA's services in the most efficient manner, we also offer APIs to all of our services. When the DVER application was first developed, its main purpose was to provide an efficient method for both intermodal equipment providers and motor carriers to be aware when a roadside violation had been issued on intermodal equipment. The future state is FMCSA is currently working on removing a filter that would enable IANA to receive DVERs for all CMVs, allowing the DVER service to expand its reach beyond just intermodal chassis. Currently, DVERs can be delivered on intermodal equipment via email with a PDF attachment of the violation or via XML. As mentioned previously, there's also the ability to have an API capability as well. There's also a web portal access that allows users to manage their DVERs and includes reporting functionalities within that web portal. Why was the system needed? When the DVER system was first developed, IANA had heard from stakeholders that the manual paper process that was in place, oftentimes the IEP and the motor carriers were not receiving a copy of the DVER in order to take the necessary action required by each of these parties under the regulations. IANA's DVER application introduced a way to electronically ensure notice and delivery of a copy of the DVER was provided to the necessary parties, and also helped with validating that the correct IEP was identified on the actual DVER itself. This slide just briefly outlines some history of how FMCSA, IANA, and CVSA have worked in conjunction on projects, beginning with the GEAR application as it relates to the fifth marking option under the federal regulations to the development of the DVER application, which is the first paperless roadside initiative. IANA and CVSA have also worked together on training initiatives as well as participated in committee work on both sides. This slide identifies the milestones in regards to IANA's involvement in the development of the DVER application. It began in 2009 with embedding the GEAR application in FMCSA's Aspen system to assist roadside enforcement and identifying the proper IEP. IANA then followed in 2011 with having discussions with FMCSA regarding the feasibility of developing an application that could electronically transmit DVERs to IEPs and motor carriers. The actual DVER application was introduced in 2013, and last year went through enhancements to expand its functionality to close the circle and provide a way for motor carriers and IEPs to certify to state enforcement agencies that the DVER repair had been addressed. The next two slides actually just show a schema of the system in its current state and then with the new enhancements. So the slide you're looking at here shows the current functionality of the system. Basically, GEAR is used to look up to see who the IEP is by roadside enforcement. Then state enforcement would then upload that information to FMCSA. We then receive that information from FMCSA via XML and actually the PDF document of the citation, page 2 of the citation. We then deliver that information to the IEP and the motor carrier if they're registered as a subscriber in our DVER application. So that's how the system currently works in its current state. We then recently expanded the functionality, as I mentioned earlier, and you can see on this side all the new functionality exists, where now, once we deliver that information to the IEP and the motor carrier, they will now have the ability to certify that the DVER has been taken care of, and then we would then have the ability to upload that information or deliver that information to the state enforcement agency in a method of their choosing as far as the communication method. It could be whether they use just simply our web portal to use that as a housing of that information. We could send it to you via email or XML. And then in addition to that, we would also have the potential to upload that information to FMCSA for the MICMIS system update. What we're doing is we have the XML format that the states are using to upload the information to FMCSA. We have that same format available, so if the state enforcement agency wanted us to do that for them, we would have the ability to do that. This next slide just simply outlines some of the new functionalities that we added last year to the DVER application. We have enhanced web portal functionality for enforcement personnel that will assist with compliance audits as well as use for safety net MICMIS updates as party certified DVER repairs. Expanded communication capability to enable information flows between IEPs, motor carriers, and enforcement. As I mentioned earlier, FMCSA is currently working on removing a filter that is currently in place where now it only sends us DVERs associated with intermodal chassis. Once that filter is removed, IANA would be able to receive DVERs for all CMVs and the delivery of this information to the party as long as they are subscribed to our DVER application. The application also links to our GEAR and VOS application. Enforcement personnel would have access to FMCSA and California BIT inspection forms and inspector certifications if this information had been uploaded by the IEP into our GEAR application. A link to a PDF of this information would be available if it had been uploaded in GEAR by the IEP. DVERs also flow to the IEP through our bad order equipment status service, which is a clearinghouse of equipment status information advising IEPs, facility operators, and maintenance and repair vendors when equipment is placed out of service and then put back in good order. This system assists with precluding bad order equipment from moving through the terminals. Reporting features have also been updated in the DVER application to allow subscribers to further use the information for benchmarking of violation metrics. Part of the enhanced functionality in the DVER application will allow IANA to transmit DVER repairs that have been certified by the IEP and motor carrier to the state enforcement agency via email, XML, or can be viewed by the enforcement agency through our DVER portal. The information can be transmitted using the XML format used by SafetyNet, so it will allow enforcement personnel to easily upload to FMCSA, or there is also the potential, as I mentioned earlier, for state enforcement agencies to request IANA to directly upload that information to FMCSA on their behalf. Value-added benefits of the application include replacing currently costly manual processes such as many agencies have in place in regards to having the IEP and motor carrier fax the information to them, or some actually require them to mail the information to the state agency, and also the ability to use the DVER application as a compliance review support tool, the flexible web portal functionality, as well as the ability to transmit DVER certification information collected to state for integration with their existing proprietary systems. So if any of the state agencies have their own system, we would be able to send you that XML so that you could integrate it into your own system and then upload it up to FMCSA if that's how you would like to handle it. And lastly, the overall safety impact. Next steps for the DVER program in regards to the enhancements that we have. Again, I know that FMCSA is currently working on that removal of that filter. So once we have that in place, we would then be able to expand the communication of the DVER information to other CMVs other than just in those associated with intermodal. The continued tabulation of overall violation metrics to assist with benchmarking the effectiveness of CMV proactive maintenance programs, and continued outreach and work with CVSA as it relates to training and implementation. We've provided demos of our DVER application with its enhancement to several of the state enforcement agencies over the last few months and have received positive feedback on the application functionality from all that have seen it. So we will continue to conduct those demos for any of the state agencies that would like to see a more detailed view of the application. So with that, what I'd like to do, the next few screens actually go through some of the functionalities of the application. So we'll walk through these, and then I'm actually going to take you into the application so you can see some of the examples that we'll walk through right now. This is basically the registration screen where motor carriers and IEPs would come to register to subscribe to the DVER application. State and federal enforcement personnel, we would ask that you would contact us, and IANA will set you up within the system from our back end versus having you have to go through the registration process. And then we would provide you with your credentials to access the web portal. The search capabilities within the application, as you can see, there's many different fields that the user has the ability to search by. For state enforcement, there's an additional field, which is the MICMIS field, which allows you to search as to whether the actual DVER has been certified and uploaded to FMCSA. This field's only available to the state enforcement. You see here the screen that has the actual parameters of the fields that you can search by. You can see that there's an inspection level search feature as well as an equipment status, which we'll talk about on the next slide, as well as the MICMIS field, as I mentioned earlier, that allows you to see or to sort by whether a citation has been uploaded to FMCSA by IANA. This MICMIS field would only pertain to if the state had requested that IANA provide that upload to FMCSA on their behalf. The search results screen, you can see there's quite a few icons up here in the right-hand corner. This is the screen where the IEP would go and select the DVER to certify whether it's been repaired or not. There's 3 statuses in our system. A DVER outstanding means that we've received the information from FMCSA and have transmitted that to either the motor carrier or the IEP that the DVER was associated with, as long as that user was registered in our system. DVER repaired identifies a DVER where once the DVER came into IANA, we would notify the IEP through our VOES application, which is our bad order equipment status service. And at that point, the unit is put in a bad order status. Once that unit is repaired and we receive a release through our VOES application, the VOES application will notify the DVER application to show that that unit has been repaired. Now, that simply means that the unit has been released through VOES. However, it does not mean that the DVER has been certified as being corrected by the IEP. When the IEP comes in and certifies that it's been taken care of, the DVER has been addressed, the status will change to DVER certified. So you have 3 statuses: outstanding, repaired, and then certified. And the certified status is the final status when the IEP certifies that they've taken care of the DVER at that point. The icons up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can see here that they provide you several different options for downloading in an Excel format information. You can download specific DVERs, you can download all of them, or you can download all of them with the XML details that we get from FMCSA when they provide us with the information. You also have the ability to actually download a PDF copy of the actual DVER as well. For state enforcement, as I mentioned, there's a separate field here that's a MICMIS field that will allow you, if you wish to, if it's showing no, it'll have an option here to send to MICMIS once it becomes certified. As you see here, all of these are showing repaired or outstanding, so you don't see that option for sending to MICMIS. But because this one's showing certified, meaning the IEP has logged into the system and indicated that it is taken care of, it would then show this option to send to MICMIS, where the state enforcement will come in and can basically click on this if they want IANA to forward the information to FMCSA on their behalf. And then once this is clicked, then a XML format transaction is done in the background and would be uploaded to FMCSA. The confirmation repair screen, this just shows you the screen where the IEP would come in and they would click on either a DVER that was showing in the outstanding status or in the repair status, and then an equipment repair screen will be displayed where it would show the name of the user, the DVER subscriber. It gives them the ability to enter any type of remarks that they want to make in regards to the repair. It also allows them to upload any type of document confirming the repair has been taken care of. This language below here in red is in regards to indicating that we're taking this as the electronic signature, and we actually discussed this language with FMCSA, and it gave the blessing on this language as well. So once they click submit, this outstanding status would then change to DVER certified, and then it would be transmitted to the individual state if they were using the DVER system. The web portal also has some reporting functionality, as I had mentioned earlier. The first report is generate stats by inspection level. So you have the ability to run reports by the various inspection levels and then download them in an Excel format. You also have the ability to do reports by violation by unit type. It would then return the information based on the search parameters you had entered, and then allow you to download that information. These two reports would have the detailed XML information that we had received from FMCSA associated with the DVERs. And the last report is by violation code. Say you wanted to search for DVERs for a certain state, you could enter the state information here and click the generate report, and it would show you the various violations or the DVERs for that state based on the actual violation code. And again, you would have the ability to click on this and download the detailed XML information associated with each one of these. So with that, what I'd like to do is actually take you into the application so that you can see a couple of examples of what we've talked about. First, I'm going to log in as an IEP. So if I log in as an intermodal equipment provider or a motor carrier and want to indicate that a repair has been made or address one of the DVERs has been addressed, I can go in here and you can see that I have some here. One's showing DVER repaired, one's already showing that it's been certified, and then you have another one here showing outstanding. So if I click on the outstanding here, it's going to come up. It's going to enter the name of the logged in user. If I wanted to put some type of remark here in regards to the repair, I could do so. I also have the ability to upload a document. If I needed to upload something that was signed or something confirming that the information or that the repair had been made, I could click this and upload a PDF file if I needed to. And then I would simply click submit to indicate that the repair had been made. And then that would change to certified once I did that. So if I log out here and actually log in as state enforcement, we have a test account that we use. So here you'll see the search functionality that I talked about, where you can search by inspection date, by various state. And one thing, state enforcement would have the ability to access all DVERs, not just those that are associated with your state. So you could enter whatever state you would want to see here. So let's enter Texas again. Again, you'd have the option here to search by inspection level, the various levels if you wanted to go down to that narrow detail. You also have the equipment status, where you can search by outstanding, certified, or repaired. This rejected is basically associated if someone is sending us XML transactions and we don't get everything that we need. Format-wise, it would show as rejected, but when you would log into the system, you would only have the three statuses, which would be the outstanding, certified, and repaired. And then the MCMIS search parameter, which is a yes or no as to whether it's been uploaded to MCMIS if the state agency had asked IANA to do that on their behalf. So let's just do a search on Texas here. You have the search screen that comes back. If you click on the report number, you can see the detailed XML that we get from FMCSA in regards to that particular DVER. If you click on the chassis ID, it would show you if there had been a FMCSA or California BIT inspection document uploaded in GEAR. It would give you the ability to view that here. You could download that document and it would display the PDF information for you. So you see here that you have some that are repaired that don't have a link. You have some that are certified that do have a link. So if you click on a DVER certified, this means that the information has been certified by the IEP or the motor carrier that the information has been repaired. It would show whatever remarks they had there, the date it was done, and then if they had a file attached to it, you would be able to click on this file and it would display the PDF. You would also, on this screen, you'd have the ability to select specific DVERs if you wanted to, and then download those in an Excel file format. You can see here that the second icon at the top here allows you to download all records. So if you're searching for a specific state and you want to download all the DVERs associated with that state, you would be able to do so. The download details of all records would allow you to download information, but would also include the XML details, such as the information you see here associated with each of the DVERs that you had selected. And then lastly, you have the ability to download the PDF document of the DVER itself, which is the page 2, so you would be able to have that if you needed to download that for any reason. If we go to the reports, again, you have the inspection start and end date as some of your search parameters. If you click this More button, it then displays additional search parameters you'd have the ability to select. You could select by, this particular screen is by inspection level, the reporting is done. So if you wanted to do a specific state and generate the report, it would show the full inspections for each of the level inspections that were done for that particular state, and you'd have the ability to download that information in an Excel file, which would give you a listing of the inspections for those specific states. The violation reporting capability allows you to have the same search parameters and then search if you wanted to do intermodal chassis or truck and tractor. You could generate the report and it's going to come back and give you the information based on the DVERs that are in our database and based on your search parameters that you had entered, and then it allows you to download that information with the XML details in an Excel format. And lastly, the report here is for the top violations, where you could enter state, click Generate Report, and then you see each one of the violations and the details associated with that. That would give you the ability to download those also in an Excel file. So that basically is the application. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We tried to keep it as simple as possible to make it easy to use for everyone. What I'd like to do now is ask Stacy if there's any questions that we've gotten from anyone.
We did get a question, and it was, is there a cost, or will there be a cost in the future to state users?
No. There'll be no cost to the state users to use the application. Any other questions?
That's it.
Thank you for attending today's webinar. Again, any state enforcement agencies that would like to have a more detailed overview of the DVER application, please feel free to contact me, and we'll be happy to do so. If there's any technical questions you have after you've seen the webinar, please feel free to direct those to me, and I can get our IT person involved with those as well. Thank you again.